morning from Kerr County. I'm Jacob Rascon. Good morning, Ugochi and Steph.
Good morning to you, Jacob. Once again for us in Kerr County. As we continue our coverage this morning, we have learned that at least 111 people have died after the devastating floodwaters raced through the Texas Hill Country.
So much tragedy there. And today the search for more than 160 people who are believed to be missing continues, and it enters its 6th day. Now we're hearing from rescue crews desperately searching for survivors.
I saw RVs being slammed up against trees and literally exploding. I saw children floating in the water begging for help that we could not reach. And that takes it out of you.
That puts everything into perspective.
It does. It stays with you, I'm sure, with her.
Yes, that was Fire Chief Diana Backus of the Ingram Volunteer Fire Department. And Jacob, you spoke with her yesterday. Can you talk about her connection to the Houston area as well?
This is an incredible woman in so many ways. Somebody who was here responding to the last 3 major flash flood events in this area over the last 50 years. Now as chief of the Ingram Fire Department, her office is leading 700 people in searching each day. And I learned in talking to her that she'd actually worked in the Houston area for 10 years as a paramedic. She grew up here, she was born here where I am, but then for 10 years went over there, thought she maybe needed a change of scenery until her father got sick. She came back to take care of him. And then she was here in the 1987 flood as well. She remembers well helping to rescue people. And then here now, she was up at 4 in the morning, banging on RV doors, running from RV to RV. And as you heard her describe, watching as she was saving people, cars and people and other things going past in the river that she could do nothing about. But I'll tell you what, and as just quickly to walk around a little bit, because every day we show you something a little different. This is one of the homes by the river where a couple of them were destroyed up here. This is some of the leftovers, and then over here is where they're picking up and cleaning off anything that is salvageable, including china and other dishes and photos and other things. Throughout the morning, we'll be showing you some of that. But this chief, Diana Backus, just exemplifies the courage and the faith and the diligence. Somebody who, as she would put it, I'm not doing okay, but I'm going to do my job, because people are counting on me and others to reconnect the families with their lost loved ones. Back to you.
Yes, Jacob, so well put, and she's helping save so many lives, but she has to go home to bed at night and see the faces of the people who were in the river who she couldn't get to. That has to be so incredibly hard. All of the search and rescue crews probably doing the same thing, but again, focusing on the lives they did save this morning. Yeah,
and you saw the emotion from, in her voice, right, talking about this. So it's something, God bless her there. Now this morning, officials in Kerr County have said the last survivor was rescued on Friday.
But with so many people who are still missing, first responders say they are committed to bringing people home.
I think that the reality of the situation is the more time that passes, it becomes harder and harder to become optimistic, but we're not stopping. And whether someone decides, and it won't be me that makes that decision, that this has changed from a rescue operation to a recovery operation, nothing is going to change for us. We're going to continue to search and look to try and reunite families, because that's where our focus is, on reuniting families with their missing loved ones and bringing them closure.
That was Sergeant Jonathan Lamb with the Kerrville Police Department. In addition to the first responders, hundreds of volunteers have jumped in to help with one of the biggest search efforts in the history of Texas.
Now we turn to the town of Centerpoint, just down the river from Kerrville. The Guadalupe River is now flowing normally, but what remains is far from normal. On July 4th, Centerpoint residents Gavin Walson captured the rapid rise of the floodwater as it grew increasingly fierce and dangerous. For more than 30 minutes, his video shows a rare picture of the catastrophic flood that left behind death and destruction in its wake.
We have the warnings. There was warnings for heavy rain. There was warnings for flash floods, but they didn't anticipate being as strong as it was.
And volunteer search crews retrace the area already covered by professionals as they continue to search for the dozens of people who are still missing. And all across Texas, there's been an overwhelming outpouring of support, but officials are asking people to help in specific ways. Now officials are asking for anyone who wishes to help to focus on monetary donations. And KHO11 spoke to an expert about why that is so helpful at this time.
And by supporting trusted organizations that are on the ground, cash donations can help meet those urgent needs today, but also continue to make an impact as communities heal and recover in the weeks and months ahead.
We also spoke to the Better Business Bureau. They say it's best to give monetary donations to organizations with years of experience in handling and distributing funds for relief and recovery efforts. Also, when donating online, there are some things to keep in mind to protect your information.
If you do donate online, you want to make sure that the site is secure. It has the S after the HTTP in the web address. There's a lock on the browser. So if you were to provide any payment information, any personal information, then it would be secure and not exposed.
And if you would like to donate, we have helpful links on our website, khou.com.
All right, your time now is 6:06, and this morning we are following a wave of support from KEMA that was so massive. Listen to this. Organizers actually had to stop taking donations. So that's how Houstonians show up to help. Trailers filled up in less than 2 days that were packed with a variety of supplies. KEMA police said the donations included clothing, food, and toiletries.
It's what we would do. We're on the coast. We've been hit by hurricanes before. They've done the favor for us. We're just returning the favor.
This is like a little light for some people in a way for them to help, right?
Yes, very sad situation, but sometimes situations like this bring us together as a community.
It sure does. And right now we have an easy way for you to help. KHOU11 is teaming up with our sister stations from across the state to raise money for the Tegna Texas Flood Relief Fund. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen to make a tax-deductible donation. All of that money will then go directly to some of the local nonprofits who are in the areas that were hit the hardest.